Alright guys, welcome back to the UFC'n. I appreciate you all tuning into the videos, making sure to subscribe, like, comment, all that great stuff. Now we've got Anthony Showtime Pettis coming up against Stephen Wonderboy Thompson this weekend in Nashville for the main event at UFC Fight Night 148. Now this fight is truly going to be a creative, very innovative, very quick, technical, striking match. I don't believe we're going to see either of these guys wanting to take it to the ground and finish the fight by submission. It's just not really in these guys' game plan when they come into fight, especially when they're going up against a known striker, a very prestige striker as Anthony Pettis and Wonderboy are. You look at Anthony Pettis, he's coming off that crazy fight against Tony Ferguson. Even though he lost that fight, I do truly feel like that fight has given him some like new motivation. I feel like Anthony Pettis basically had one foot out the door. I think if he goes out in that Tony Ferguson fight and loses by dominant fashion, I don't think we see Anthony Pettis in the UFC for much longer. I don't even know if he takes another fight in the UFC or if he's given a renewal of his contract, for that matter. You can't lose consistently and still keep a job in the UFC these days. It's just not how it works. And to be fair, he's going up an absolute striking genius in Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I mean, you look at their past few fights. We'll look at Pettis first. He had that loss to Ferguson by TKO in the second. He beat Chiesa, got KO'd by Poirier, and he beat Jim Miller. You look at Wonderboy, he lost that decision to Till. He beat Jorge, lost to Woodley, had a draw with Woodley, beat McDonald, and he actually beat Robert Whittaker earlier in his career as well by KO. Wonderboy KO'd Robert Whittaker. So it seems like, based on the past few fights and based on the momentum behind these guys, it seems like Wonderboy is going to be a pretty heavy favorite when it comes to the betting odds, and even in the fans' eyes. A hardcore fan is going to look at Wonderboy, especially, I mean, not even considering the rankings. You look at Wonderboy, he's ranked third. I don't even know if Anthony Pettis is ranked in the top 15 right now, which sounds kind of crazy, but I may be mistaken on that, actually. Don't quote me on it, but I don't even know if Anthony Pettis is ranked in the top 15. So obviously Wonderboy is going to be a heavy favorite in this fight, but these guys are going to go out there, they're going to put on a masterclass. I mean, Wonderboy goes out there and plays chess with every single opponent he's up against, and if you're not intelligent, if you don't fight Wonderboy smart, he's going to catch you from an angle that no fighter has ever seen before. Now, that's not to say Showtime doesn't have that ability. I mean, the man has a kick off the cage from an angle that no one had seen before, named after him. So obviously he's got that ability as well. I don't know. I hate to say it this way, but I think Wonderboy is on a different level in his career right now. They're both veterans. They're both very smart when it comes to fights. They both know how to pick their opponents apart. I just think Wonderboy is on a different level. He's got a lot of momentum behind him. Even coming off a decision loss to Till, he's got a lot of momentum behind him. I mean, people love to watch Wonderboy fight. People love to watch Showtime fight as well, but Wonderboy's just got that it factor. He's got that quickness, that speed, that power that you don't see all the time. And fighting karate, it confuses people. It's so hard to fight against someone who has a wide opened up stance, basically standing sideways to you. It's hard to figure that out. So I hope Anthony Pettis goes out there and does well. Like I said, neither of these guys are going to take this fight to the ground. I think Anthony Pettis will perform well, but it's just going to be so hard for him to get to that level with Wonderboy to be able to truly compete and to win this fight. If anything, he may win the fight by decision. I think it'd be hard to take Wonderboy out. He just knows how to keep range so well. It's hard to truly catch him and catch him in a spot that's going to knock him out or shut his lights off. He's very tough. They've both got great chins. I think Pettis is going to go out there and give us a show. He's got new motivation after that Ferguson fight. It's like he found the warrior inside himself again that maybe he had lost a little bit of before that. When you come out of a fight like that, like I said, the fans were giving him a standing ovation for losing the fight. I mean, that fight will most definitely be a nominee for Fight of the Year, if not the Fight of the Year. So that just switches on something in your brain that potentially wasn't there before. I mean, the man's won the title belt before, but having a performance like that when you were so low in your career, it's just a different feeling. It does something different to your mentality, which honestly is a bit overlooked in this sport. The mentality, the mental game of this sport is so important. I don't think a lot of fighters pay enough attention to it. I mean, you've got people like Connor, like Tony Ferguson, who, you know, it's a bit hard to draw a comparison with what's going on with him right now, but Tony Ferguson, they think outside the box. They're very smart. They train, they have movement coaches, they have yoga coaches that travel with them, they have mental coaches that travel with them. They just do things that people haven't done before, and that's what makes them great. And I think Wonderboy has a bit of that. He has that greatness in him. So it's going to be a great fight. As far as a prediction for the fight, I'm going to have to give it to Wonderboy in the let's say in the third. He'll finish him by strikes. Let's say a hook kick has Anthony Pettis wobbling, and he finishes it by TKO by strikes. We'll put it in the third, give it to Wonderboy, and see what happens from there. But this fight is going to have severe implications on what happens in the welterweight division in the future. I mean, we've got Ben Askren waiting for a fight right now. We've got Kamaru, Usman, and Colby Covington about to have a fight lined up. So, in my opinion, I think what happens in the welterweight division, I think the winner of this fight this weekend will fight Ben Askren. The winner of that fight will fight the winner of Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman. And then maybe Tyron Woodley gets another shot after all of that dust is settled and all of those fights have been done. I don't know. It's going to be hard for Tyron to fight his way back up to get that title shot. After everything that's happened with him in the UFC and the things he said, it's really hard to recover. No matter how much Dana says he's unbiased and isn't going to hold anything against anybody, more than likely it's going to be a tough road back to the title for Tyron Woodley. So either way, it's shaken up the division. It's given a lot of other people a chance that may not have had that chance before, and it's going to be fun to watch. Definitely stay tuned. I'll keep you all updated. Stay tuned to the channel as well. Make sure to subscribe, like, comment down below. Who do you think is going to win this fight this weekend? Do you have Wonderboy or do you have Showtime winning this fight? It's going to be a great fight, as you can see from the highlights in the background throughout this video. Both of these guys are superstars. They're very flamboyant. They know how to please a crowd, and I'm sure that's what we're going to get. So watch it on ESPN Plus. Download the app. Subscribe if you haven't. It's $4.99 a month. Not that bad for all the UFC fights. And remember, it's all going streaming now on ESPN Plus and ESPN pay-per-view. So if you don't have ESPN Plus, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to watch the fights unless you have Fight Pass, or they may transfer it over there. But either way, guys, thanks for watching the video. We'll see you soon.